Connacht and the Shark, folks. 24 points to 12. That's a bonus point win for Connacht. And not the Shark side I was expecting to see. We're going to go through some key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. Admittedly, as I got up at just after 6 in the morning to watch this one, I hadn't seen the lineups. And I might have watched a different game if I'd known the lineups. Maybe not. It's always good to see some of the depth of some of the sides, and the Sharks, I guess with the Champions Cup on the horizon, rested a bunch of guys. Springbok guys pretty much not in action for this one, so a good chance for Connacht to press for a win, get some crucial points on the log, and they did it, man. Like I said, it's a bonus point win for them. Very windy, credit to the fans who got out there for this one, but very windy. Like the line-out stat numbers are horrendous. The territory stats swing from half to half because the wind was just a big factor in this one. First 10 minutes are pretty scrappy. I don't know who the commentator was, but he was hating watching the game. He was just moaning about everything. Like, for a dude who's getting paid to watch rugby, he didn't seem to be enjoying it. And admittedly, it's scrappy. There's handling errors. The Sharks give away a line-out error after winning a scrum penalty, which is kind of, shake your head moment. Connacht do the same thing when they get a line-out. They give away an obstruction penalty. So that is kind of frustrating to watch. But, I mean, dude, don't just inject all this negativity in the game. He's bringing me down. I've got up early in the morning to watch this game. Enjoy yourself, man. You're watching rugby for a living. But it was a bit scrappy. And the wind is kind of to be expected in the rain. We did get a try on 20 minutes. Connor Oliver gets the first try of the game. It's a maul try. To be expected, they got a close range maul. The Sharks don't contest in the air, which maybe they should have because it was, tough conditions for the throwers. But they decided they'll set for the maul to try and stop it on the ground, and they can't. I mean, the Connacht ball powers over, so it's 5-0, close conversion, but not to be. And then the second try for Connacht is probably a bit of magic. I mean, Ford is the guy who finishes it, but it's from a scrum. It's Hansen with a wee dink over the top. Farrell, he gathers the kick and holds on to the ball just long enough to draw a tackler and pass it to Ford. Ford does well to ground it under a tackle of his own, so 12-0 to Connacht after 20-odd minutes. And the Sharks aren't doing themselves any favours. Pinkler, he kicks it out on the full, which again with the conditions is easier to do than on some of the other days. When the Sharks do finally push on attack towards the end of the first half, they eventually knock the ball on, and that knock on pretty much leads directly to the next Connacht try because Connacht regather the ball from the Sharks knock on, hoof it long. The Sharks have to track back because nobody's home. They've been on attack. They concede a penalty at the breakdown, which means Connacht got great attacking position. And can Connacht work something from that attacking position? Yes, they can. It's Tiernan O'Halloran right before half-time. They find massive space for him. Like the Connacht attack, showing some great hands when they draw the attack left. The Sharks guys get a bit compressed, and then the Connacht shift it right. I mean, some good hands like Beelum and other guys, got hands in the build-up just to keep the ball moving right. And the Sharks defense can't slide across. So, 19 points to 0 at half-time. Really great stuff from Connacht. They've had more ball. They've certainly had more territory. It's like 70-30 in that first half because they've got the wind at their backs. But how's it going to be in the second half? Can the Sharks get a bit more territory? You bet they can. I mean, it doesn't start well for Connacht because they get a yellow card. Della Hunt in at the side of a Sharks maul. He gets carded for that one. And the Sharks really need to score here. They need to score because they're 15 against 14. They're in the right bit of the field. They've got the wind at their backs. They're mauling it. They get told to use it. But, from the attack, Connacht concede a penalty at the breakdown. So it's still prime real estate for the Sharks, but their third attempt gets stopped. Maybe a little bit cynically by Josh Murphy, but the ref says it's all good. So get out of jail for Connacht. They are still pretty much keeping a clean sheet at that point. Both sides a little bit guilty, though, of some skills errors. Like I mentioned, the line-out still struggling a little bit. A few kicks out on the full, but it looks like Cardi on 53 minutes has scored a phenomenal try. I mean, crazy Connacht hands again. These guys, I guess, are pretty good at playing in some tough conditions over in Galway. But, I mean, O'Halloran with the line break gets it to Hansen. Hansen's almost getting put out in touch. He basketball passes it back in field. It looks like Cardi's finished it, but Farrell's got a wee tip in the middle of that kind of basketball pass, ending on its way to Cardi, and they adjudged that one to have gone forward, so it's chalked off. But a couple of minutes later, it doesn't matter because the Sharks get charged down anyway. And it's a bit of a gift for Ford. So 24-0 misconversion. But that man I haven't seen him play before, but he got charged down. And gift bit of a gift. So it's a bonus point for Connacht. But that's the end of the scoring on 55 minutes. The Sharks have got a chance to get themselves on the board. They do get the first one through Rohan Jansen van Rensburg, not Johan. Back in South Africa. He's been a bit of a revelation since leaving the Sharks to join the Sharks, right? 24/7. He's got some power. I mean, Connacht, to be fair, have been giving away some penalties. So the Sharks, like they had previously when they didn't convert, needed to get some points from it. And they did. I mean, he's a really hard man to bring down. And then it looked like they got a quickfire double because it's Connacht's time to get charged down. It was Porch who put a kick from the right-hand corner on his own goal line, gets charged down. And then I think it was Grant Williams that gathered it, got it to Hugo. Hugo with a great offload. And then Van Vuren looked to have gone over for the try. They let them take the conversion, but remember they've changed that law about the conversion being the point where you can go back and look for stuff. So after they've taken the conversion, which was a great kick, they go back and have a look to whether Grant Williams was in an offside position, and he was in the build-up. So that try gets chalked off, which is unfortunate because I feel like if they get that quickfire double and Connacht are frantically defending like they are, maybe we get edgier seat finish, but unfortunately for the game, fortunately for Connacht, not to be. Connacht, as they were a bit frantic, they really needed the game to end at about the 70-minute mark, but they had to keep playing. The Sharks, though, took a little bit too long to finally get that try. Lula, the reserve prop, he manages to finish one off to make it 24-12, but like I said, it's a bit too little too late. If that other try stands, the one on 65 minutes, the Van Vuren one, maybe we get a grandstanding finish, but in the end, Connacht were able to just hold on for a comfortable enough bonus point win. So possession finishes with the Sharks, territory finishes with the Sharks. Like it was 78-22 in the second half. The wind was definitely affected. Like it switches from 70% Connacht in one half to like 78% the other way in the second. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. The line-out stats are terrible. 9 from 15 for Connacht, 10 from 16 for the Sharks. But as I said, the wind, man, it's just such a factor. Run meters, 300 to Connacht, 372 for the Sharks. So pretty even. I guess the Sharks edge it by 70-odd meters. Clean breaks, though, 5-2. So the Connacht guys able to generate a few more of those kind of X-factor opportunities. And then Connacht's defense is at 92%, the tackling rate, 82 for the Sharks. So Connacht's is just a lot higher. Like 92 is really test level stuff. But I guess they're playing their first team and the Sharks replacements guys at times a little bit too rusty. O'Halloran had a great game, 75 metres, 2 clean breaks, gets himself a nice try. Hansen beats 5 defenders, always looks dangerous. Connor Oliver makes 22 tackles, so proper shift from him. Jansen van Rensburg gets his try and makes 44 odd metres, so yeah, pretty good shift from him. But there you go. Connacht with the win over a less than full strength Sharks side in some pretty tough conditions. Game of two halves. It's cliche, but it is true. We look forward to the European games next week. Remember, these games, the European games, at least the Champions Cup games, are on Flow Rugby for you guys in the States if you want to check that out. The link down in the description. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.